Hey, yeah, this is a video about using your decoder to decode combination locks. Some people, instead of using a pull picking method like how I like to do it, they're not that comfortable with the pull picking method. So instead, a decoding method might be a good idea. So for this lock, for example, I'll put this Sparrow's Ultra decoder, the thin piece of metal. If I put it down here, and I'm going to try and feel for a gate or a hole or a gap. So I'm just sliding that corner. I'm sliding it across the inner wheel, trying to feel something, trying to feel a notch or a bump. Okay, I feel something. Okay, yeah, it's a feels like a hole here. Okay, so I'll go to the next wheel. Oh, right, I feel the bump here already. Go to the next one. Yep, feel it here. This is quite an easy lock to do this with. Some locks it's very tricky. It's frustratingly tricky. Okay, I feel something here. So here, 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 and here. Yep, but that won't be our combination. What we have to do is move all the wheels in unison, one at a time. So if I go 1, 1, 1, 1, no, and forward another one, no, another one, no, another one, no, another one, and the lock opens. Okay, so that's using the Sparrow's Ultra decoder to decode this lock. Now, why does this work? Well, inside one of the locks that I took apart, not this one, but this one was a broken one, you can see the inner wheel here. Can you see how it has a gap? Sorry, this particular one has a flat. It's like round, 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 but when it goes to here, it's flat. And when all those flat ones are lined up, then the lock will open. So this is the inner wheel, and when I put on the outer wheel, you can see the outer wheel turns the inner wheel. And if all the flats are lined up in the right place, then the lock will open. So what we can do with our decoder is try and feel for these flats, try and see how much it goes down, which is why I put the mark there. With some of these, you see how much it goes down. Some of them you just feel a notch or a bump, and some of them you feel a gap and you trying to see how wide it is. Different locks can be decoded with this decoder in different ways. This particular one has flat, so this will go down more here than it will here. Okay, but the inside of this one, this particular one, you see how it's got a little notch, a little bump, and the outer wheel turns the inner wheel. And what we can do, if we're careful, we can try and feel for that bump. And once we get all the bumps lined up and we turn the wheels in unison to the right place, then the lock will open. Sometimes you get the inside of a lock where you're reaching down and you don't feel anything because the outer wheel is all it's doing is turning the inner wheel, but the real magic is on the inside of the inner wheel. There's a gap, but it's on the inside of the inner wheel, so our decoder can't reach down there, it can only reach down on top. We wouldn't be able to decode this lock. So it doesn't work on all combination locks. It works on this one, works on these ones, but when I tested about 8 of them, it worked on these ones, but it did not work on these ones, because when I reached down with the decoder, I couldn't feel anything. So some combination locks it works, some combination locks it does not. And this combination lock, there's no way to reach down with the decoder because each wheel, each outer wheel, overlaps and it protects the gap. So locks like this can't be decoded with a decoder either. Now some locks are tricky. I already did a video on this lock where I could fit the decoder in the gaps in the first 3 wheels but not the 4th wheel. So it was frustrating. Plus there are false gaps. So this lock is particularly tricky, but it can still be decoded. Now with this tricky lock, it's too tight. The tolerances are too good to fit the decoder down very well. Sometimes I can get it down in some wheels, but then I can't move. What I found to be better was when I cut out a piece of aluminium, or in America I should say aluminum, just a piece of like a Coke can or fizzy drink can or soda pop can, and I just cut out like a triangle or square, and I can put a mark on it. And with this one I am able to reach down. It's thinner, so this is very cheap, endless supply, and it's thinner. Let's check that. So if I have a look at this, okay, so that's about 5.5 thousandths of an inch, and this is, wow, this is only like 1.5. So many of these locks that I can decode, I couldn't actually decode if it wasn't for this. I'd need this to be able to be thin enough to fit down. And I'm using this angle, this little sharp corner, just to drag across the inside of the wheel to see if I can feel anything. Sometimes you have to do it down here, sometimes you have to do it up here, and sometimes, as I say, it's how far it goes in. I'm just looking for something different. And so with this tricky little lock with tight tolerances, what I would do is I would put it down there and I would scrape it across the inside, and I would feel that little join as if it was 2 pieces of metal that were coming together, and there's a little bit of a join. I can feel something slightly, and I've already done these wheels. I can feel a bit of a join or a bump or a little gap, and I've done all the wheels and I put them to the same position. Notice that I'm putting it down this side instead of this side this time, because it depends on the lock. Okay, so I've got all the wheels lined up, but that's not our combination, so I move the wheels by one. Test. 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 And the lock opens. Thanks.